My name is Dory Mitchell. I'm 16 years old and a junior in high school. I live in a small town in the Midwest, where everyone knows everyone else and life is usually pretty quiet. But there's one thing that sets my life apart from those of my friends. My dad is in the military, and he's been away on a mission for over a year. My dad is my hero. He's brave, strong, and always knows how to make me laugh. Growing up, he would tell me stories about his adventures in the military, and I would listen in awe, imagining him as a real-life superhero. But now, those stories are a painful reminder of how much I miss him. Every day feels incomplete without him here, and the uncertainty of when or if he'll come back haunts me. Mom tries her best to keep things normal. She works long hours at the hospital, and when she's home, she tries to fill the void left by Dad's absence. But I can see the worry in her eyes, the way she sometimes stares out the window, as if hoping he'll walk through the door any moment. We don't talk about it much, but I know she misses him just as much as I do. One evening, while I was browsing through some old books in the attic, I found a worn-out journal. It was Mom's from when she was a teenager. Curious, I started reading, and I stumbled upon a section where she wrote about a man named Neville Goddard and his teachings on manifestation. She wrote about how she used his methods to attract positive experiences into her life, and how it helped her through tough times. Intrigued, I did some research on Neville Goddard. His teachings revolved around the idea that our thoughts and beliefs shape our reality, that we can manifest our desires by visualizing them as already fulfilled and feeling the emotions associated with them. The concept seemed both strange and fascinating, and I wondered if it could help me bring Dad back home. That night, I decided to give it a try. I found a quiet corner in my room, closed my eyes, and took a few deep breaths. I pictured Dad coming home, walking through the front door with his duffel bag slung over his shoulder, a wide smile on his face. I imagined the warmth of his hug, the sound of his laughter, the way his eyes would light up when he saw me and Mom. I tried to make the vision as vivid and real as possible, focusing on every little detail. As I visualized, I felt a wave of emotions wash over me: joy, relief, love. I let those feelings fill my heart, savoring the sensation of having Dad back home. I did this every night before going to bed, making it a part of my nightly routine. I also started incorporating affirmations into my day, repeating phrases like "Dad is coming home," "Our family is whole again," and "We are together and happy." At first, it felt strange and a bit silly. But I kept at it, trusting in the process and believing in the power of my thoughts. Weeks turned into months, and although there were no immediate signs of change, I refused to give up. I clung to the hope that my efforts would eventually pay off. One day, while I was at school, I received a call from Mom. Her voice was shaky with excitement as she told me that she had received a letter from Dad. He was safe and would be coming home soon. My heart soared with joy, and I could hardly believe it. It felt like a dream come true. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of preparation and anticipation. Mom and I cleaned the house from top to bottom, making sure everything was perfect for Dad's return. We cooked his favorite meals, hung up welcome home banners, and even bought a new set of bed sheets for his room. Finally, the day arrived. I stood by the window, my heart pounding with excitement and nerves, watching for any sign of Dad's car. When I saw it pull into the driveway, I felt like I was going to burst with joy. I ran to the door, flinging it open just as Dad stepped out of the car. "Dad!" I cried, running to him and throwing my arms around his neck. He hugged me tightly, lifting me off the ground as he laughed. "Dory, my sweet girl," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "I've missed you so much." Mom joined us, tears streaming down her face as she embraced Dad. "Welcome home," she whispered, her voice breaking. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated happiness. All the months of longing and waiting had led to this, and it felt like a miracle. As we settled into our life together again, I couldn't help but think about the power of manifestation, and how it had helped bring Dad back home. Over the next few weeks, I shared my experience with Dad, telling him about Neville Goddard and the visualization exercises I had been doing. He listened with interest, his eyes filled with pride and amazement. "You've always been a special girl, Dory," he said, ruffling my hair. "I'm so proud of you for staying positive and believing in the impossible." Life gradually returned to normal, but I never forgot the lessons I had learned. I continued to practice manifestation, using it to attract positive experiences and overcome challenges. It became a powerful tool in my life, a reminder that we have the ability to shape our reality through our thoughts and beliefs. As I look back on that time, I am filled with gratitude. Manifestation brought my dad back home, but it also taught me the power of hope, belief, and persistence. It showed me that even in the darkest of times, we can find light and create our own miracles. And so, my story is not just about manifesting my dad's return. It's about discovering the power within myself, the strength to face challenges, and the belief that anything is possible if we dare to dream and believe. As I stand at the beginning of my senior year, I am excited about the future. I know that whatever challenges come my way, I have the power to overcome them. And I am forever grateful for the journey that led me to this realization, a journey that started with a longing for my dad's return and ended with a newfound belief in the power of manifestation. With Dad back home, life felt whole again. There was an extra spring in my step, a lightness in my heart that hadn't been there before. But even with his return, I didn't stop my practice of manifestation. I felt like I'd tapped into something profound and powerful, and I wanted to keep using it to shape my life positively. Dad settled back into civilian life, and our family fell into a comfortable routine. He found a job at a local hardware store, which was a big change from his military career, but he seemed happy. We spent our evenings together, catching up on all the lost time. It was as if he had never left, and the house buzzed with warmth and laughter. One afternoon, while Dad and I were in the backyard, I decided to share more about my journey with manifestation. I told him how I had found Mom's old journal and learned about Neville Goddard. His eyes lit up with curiosity. "Your mom was always into that sort of thing," he said, chuckling. "She used to tell me about it when we were dating. I didn't understand much of it back then." I smiled, feeling a connection to Mom's younger self. "It really helped me, Dad. Not just to bring you home, but to stay positive and hopeful. It's like creating your reality with your thoughts." Dad looked thoughtful. "Maybe that's something we all need to learn. The power of our minds." As the weeks turned into months, I continued to practice manifestation, applying it to different aspects of my life. I visualized doing well in school, making new friends, and even getting a part-time job. And slowly but surely, I began to see results. One of the first big tests came with my schoolwork. I'd always been an average student, struggling to keep up with some of my classes. But now, with the power of manifestation on my side, I started visualizing myself understanding the material, acing my tests, and enjoying the process of learning. I spent time each evening picturing myself in the classroom, confident and engaged. At first, it was hard to believe it would make a difference. But I kept at it, trusting in the process. And soon enough, I started to notice changes. My grades improved, and I found myself understanding concepts that had previously baffled me. Teachers praised my progress, and I felt a sense of accomplishment that fueled my motivation. One subject that had always given me trouble was math. I dreaded every class, convinced that I just wasn't good at it. But I decided to tackle it head-on with manifestation. Each night, I visualized myself solving equations effortlessly, feeling confident and capable. I repeated affirmations like "I am great at math," and "I understand math easily." The results were astounding. Slowly, my fear of math began to fade. I started to grasp concepts more easily, and my test scores improved. My math teacher even called me up after class one day to commend my progress. "Dory, I've seen a real change in you," she said, smiling. "Keep up the good work." It felt incredible to see the power of my thoughts in action. And it wasn't just academics that improved. My social life began to flourish as well. I'd always been a bit shy, unsure of myself in social situations. But now, I visualized myself making friends, feeling confident, and enjoying social interactions. I focused on the feelings of joy and connection, imagining myself laughing with friends, being invited to hang out, and feeling accepted. It wasn't long before I started to notice changes. I found myself more outgoing, striking up conversations with classmates, and making new friends. One of the highlights was meeting Jenny, a new student who had just moved to our town. She was sitting alone in the cafeteria one day, looking as nervous as I had felt when I first started high school. Remembering my visualizations, I gathered my courage and went over to introduce myself. "Hi, I'm Dory," I said, offering a friendly smile. "Mind if I join you?" Jenny looked up, her eyes brightening with relief. "Sure, I'd love that," she replied. We quickly hit it off, discovering shared interests in music, books, and hiking. Jenny became one of my closest friends, and our friendship brought a new level of joy to my life. It was another testament to the power of manifestation, and I felt grateful for every moment. As the months passed, I decided to take on another challenge, finding a part-time job. I wanted to save up for college and help out with household expenses. But finding a job in our small town wasn't easy. I knew I had to put my manifestation skills to the test. I started by visualizing myself in the perfect job, feeling happy, confident, and fulfilled. I pictured myself interacting with customers, working with a supportive team, and earning a steady income. I repeated affirmations like "I have a great job," and "I am successful in my work." One afternoon, while browsing the local job listings, I saw an opening at the town's bookstore. It was a cozy little shop I had always loved, and the idea of working there thrilled me. I applied right away, using my visualization techniques to imagine myself getting the job. A week later, I received a call for an interview. I was nervous but determined to stay positive. During the interview, I focused on projecting confidence and enthusiasm, drawing on my visualizations to stay calm. To my delight, I was offered the job on the spot. I couldn't wait to start working at the bookstore, and the experience turned out to be everything I had hoped for. I loved the atmosphere, the customers, and my co-workers. It was a perfect fit, and I knew it was another manifestation success. Through all these experiences, my belief in the power of manifestation grew stronger. I began to see it as a way of life, a tool to create the reality I wanted. It wasn't always easy, and there were times when doubts crept in, but I had learned to trust the process and stay focused on my goals. One of the biggest challenges came when Dad received news that he might be deployed again. The thought of him leaving filled me with dread, and it was hard to stay positive. But I knew I had to use everything I had learned to navigate this difficult time. I started visualizing Dad staying home, feeling safe and happy with our family. I imagined us spending time together, celebrating holidays, and supporting each other through thick and thin. I repeated affirmations like "Dad is safe and home with us, and our family is together and strong." It was a tough period, filled with uncertainty and fear. But I kept at it, trusting in the power of my thoughts. I also talked to Mom about my fears, and she reassured me, reminding me of how far we had come and the strength of our family. Finally, we received the news that Dad's deployment had been postponed indefinitely. The relief was overwhelming, and I felt a deep sense of gratitude. It was another manifestation success, a testament to the power of hope and belief. As I reflect on my journey, I am filled with a sense of wonder and awe. The power of manifestation has transformed my life in so many ways, helping me navigate challenges and create the reality I desire. It has taught me the importance of staying positive, believing in myself, and trusting in the process. I know that life will continue to throw challenges my way, but I feel equipped to handle them. With the power of manifestation on my side, I am ready to face whatever comes, confident in my ability to shape my reality and create a life filled with joy, love, and success. And as I stand at the threshold of my senior year, I am excited about the future. I know that whatever challenges come my way, I have the power to overcome them. And I am forever grateful for the journey that led me to this realization, a journey that started with a longing for my dad's return and ended with a newfound belief in the power of manifestation.